Howdy, folks. Andrew here. Popcorn and whiskey. I am the face who runs the place. Saturday evening. Salute. Here we go. What am I doing here on a Saturday evening? Well, first of all, Saturday evening is when I usually do my show. Why? Because I don't have a social life. That's why. And I just got done watching professional wrestling. And no, I am not going to be talking about wrestling tonight, so don't worry about it. We will talk about other things. I may have a guest come on. Also, the call line is right there for you. Right there. 765-505-7348. Give me a call. You can chit-chat with us and see what's going on with us. With me right now. And see, my guest just messaged me. Okay. We'll see if he comes on or not. Yeah, good guy. And my friend and yours, my buddy JD, is going to be coming on. We'll see if he comes on or not. We'll see. I can't promise you anything, but the phone lines are open, 765-505-7348. A lot of stuff happening. Another shooting, unfortunately, going on in the White House area. Again, I will say this now, and I said this before. I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying this. I don't care who is in the White House, whether I voted for the person or not, whether I like the person or not. If anybody attacks the White House or the President of the United States, I hope every Secret Service person, every officer, anybody that is legally licensed to carry a firearm puts every freaking bullet that they have into the intruder. Yes, I said that publicly. I will stand by that. Because that office should be protected beyond anything else on the planet, in my opinion. Again, regardless if I voted for the person or not. Here he is. JD, are you there?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Thanks for coming on. I was just hold on a second. Now we got to get a different background on here. I was just telling folks about, I guess there was a shooting today. Did you hear about it at the White House, a shooting?
No, I did not actually.
Yeah, I don't know all the particulars about it, but there was a shooting today at the White House, or at close to the White House. I don't want to say at the White House, close to the White House, where the White House had to be locked down. And I guess President Trump, VP Vance, Rubio were there as well, doing some sort of official business stuff. And they were on lockdown. And I don't know if they found the person who did it, but everything is, I don't want to say everything is fine now, but they are no longer on lockdown. So
yeah, it looks like it happened on 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue. So just up the road from the White House.
Look at you, Mr. Quick on the Mr. Google there, Mr.
A little bit more than that, but yeah, that's why it always takes me an extra minute. I always got to confirm it first. Two sources first. Two sources.
Now, I just got done saying, and I don't know if you agree with this or not, whoever is in the White House, whether I voted for that person or didn't, whether I like the person or I don't, if anybody attacks the White House or attacks the President of the United States, absolutely. My personal belief is every Secret Service agent, every officer, anybody who is legally licensed to carry a gun should just empty their entire clip into the people or person or people who are doing the attacking.
Yeah,
period, end of story.
That's one thing that seems to have really gotten lost over the last, I'd say, 3 presidents, right? Obama, Biden, and Trump. It's somewhere it became okay for one side to wish or to hope for something to happen to the president of the United States.
Right.
When I'm sorry, I'm totally drawing a blank all of a sudden. I'm switching gears here. I was in creative mode. I'm putting together a new intro for a new series we have coming out on the Boiling Point podcast. So I'm shifting my brain.
Look at you, man. Word.
Who was it that got John F. Kennedy? If when Kennedy was assassinated, you did not hear, nobody was celebrating in the streets. Nobody was
No.
cheering. Nobody was happy that it happened. Everybody was very sad, very
Yep.
solemn. It was not a good thing that happened to our country.
Yep. Yep.
And that's not what happens today. And, I think it's with the last three presidents, it's somewhere it's really gotten lost. And I'm not a Biden fan. I'm not an Obama fan, but I would have absolutely not been okay with either one of them having an even an attempted assassination. It would not have been okay.
Oh, I 1,000% agree with that. Now,
Yeah.
and I guess the last person who jumped the fence and ran to the toward the White House, I guess when President Obama was in there, and that's when I publicly stated, and I'm not a fan of Obama's at all, haven't been, but like I just said, the Secret Service, the police, whoever was there, should empty their entire clip into the person charging the White House. I don't care, stable, unstable, whatever.
Yeah,
that person needs to be down. Simple as that.
Yeah,
down and out. And the person who shot him first should get a medal. Crying out loud.
Yeah, and anybody who got shot by him should get a medal.
Yeah. Hopefully, no one does that, but yeah. But
well, no. There was, I think there was no Secret Service injuries, but there was a potential bystander was also wounded.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not sure who. Apparently, from what I'm seeing here, it's upwards of as many as 20 or 30 shots were exchanged.
Oh, wow. I didn't hear all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if that's really the case, then, I don't think, if you're in a shootout, you can't always, it would be unfortunate if the bystander was hit by, a police officer bullet or a Secret Service bullet. But when you're in a shootout, it's, things are going to happen when bullets are flying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you're getting this information awful quickly. So if you don't want to reveal your source, don't. But where do you go? Where do you go?
Of course, I don't ever mind doing that. Well, of course, when I did a search, the co-pilot obviously came up, but then I also confirmed it through MSNBC and BBC.
And what was the second one you said? BBC?
BBC, yeah.
MSNBC and BBC. Wow. Yeah. Why do you use those two to confirm everything?
I don't just use those two. Those just happen to be the first two that came up on this particular search, and they're both reasonable to get, especially when it's incoming news like this.
Okay.
They're pretty good about reporting this stuff. It's afterwards. It's the after articles. After it's tomorrow's articles and the third and fourth day articles where they start talking about who the person was and what their motives might have been. That's where you really got to start digging to find what is the truth. But when something like that's happening, most news sources are still, because you don't know, you don't really know exactly what's going on. So most just report it as they know what's going on. It's the analysis afterward that usually gets distorted.
Okay. And for those of us just joining me, my buddy is JD. He comes on here quite frequently. He has the Mayhem Media Entertainment and the Boiling Point podcast. I would highly recommend you go listen to both of those. And especially if you're in the Philadelphia area, you'll want to listen to the Boiling Point podcast. A lot of things rocking and rolling over there right now.
Here in Central PA. Yeah, there's some stuff happening with the local school board, and they don't like me very much. They definitely don't like that I'm covering what's going on there. They absolutely do not like that at all.
Why? Okay, all right. Now you got me curious. What are you covering that they don't like?
So we just got back into. Anybody who's been following me, and even anybody who's been following you regular, likely knows that at the beginning of this year, I was moving. I was in a hotel for a few weeks. So we just got back to starting to covering the meetings. I wanted to make sure we got back to it before the end of the school year. So I chose this month, and last Thursday was their first school board meeting. They usually have 2 a month. So there's one last Thursday and one this Thursday.
Okay.
Nothing major really happened at this past Thursday. It was the previous Thursday where a lot of stuff happened at the end of the meeting. And this is a meeting that normally is not like 3 hours is supposed to be the max. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So these parents didn't get to come on till almost the 3 hour mark.
Okay, wait, stop right there. What do you mean the parents didn't get to come on? What do you mean by that?
At the end of the meeting, parents get to come up to the board and address the board about concerns that they have or questions or anything like that.
Okay.
Yes, keep asking good questions, Andrew, because I'm not yet. People aren't privy to what's happening in the
That's
meeting.
fine. That's fine. That's fine.
So yeah, it's at the end of the meeting. The parents get to address the board, and this mother and father came up at the table, and they both read a statement. And basically they said that their child with special needs, and you might catch flack if I say this on your show, but a child with special needs, who in their independent education plan (IEP), it said that anytime they have to use the bathroom, that's it. They get to use the bathroom.
Right.
This child, the student, wanted to use the bathroom. This teacher's aide did not let him leave, actually prevented him from leaving. After asking 7 different times, he was able to get out the door himself, go take care of whatever he needed to take care of. And then when he came back to the class, the teacher's aide took him down to the main classroom where the teacher was. And then in front of the class demanded that he explain himself to the teacher.
Wow.
And then and of course, and I don't know, you may not know this, but when you're a child with special needs and you get confronted in that kind of manner for doing something that you have to do, you know what I mean? It's like, it would be like, I don't even know how to make a comparison because I don't have anything quite like that. I never had anything quite like that in my IEP. So I wouldn't even know how to do a good comparison, but in front of the whole class being, explain yourself. Oh, I had how does an elementary schooler explain to the teacher and the whole class that they have a problem with their bladder and that they have to pee when they have to pee.
Exactly.
How does a childhood kid do that? So he shut down. Well, that's what happens with special needs kids when they get confronted like that, especially from a position of authority, for thinking that you just did something wrong that you think for you having to do. You have to pee.
Right.
So the kid shut down, and the teacher's aide actually physically grabbed him, which is, according to Pennsylvania state law, is illegal. It's a restraint, and that's illegal in the state of Pennsylvania. The only time a teacher or teacher's aide is allowed to restrain a student is if their health or the health of any other students are in danger. This was definitely not that case.
Right.
So he pulled away from her and said, "Let go of me." And then she responded with, "Well, you're not listening to us. We don't have to listen to you."
Oh, man.
So that happened at the end of the meeting, a 3.5-hour meeting where I can assure you only the diehards were watching. Anybody, and I mean this in a non-insulting way, but people that have jobs are not watching at 9:00 at 9:30 at night.
Right. I'm not watching a school board meeting. Right.
Yeah. You're not watching from 6 to 9:30. You're just not. You have kids, you have dinner, you have work tomorrow, right?
Yes.
So anybody who was watching at that point was already likely with what happened anyway. Now, of course, I don't know that for sure, but that's my speculation. And also the viewership at that point was way down on it anyway. So I took the clip. I took a clip out. It's a public meeting.
Right.
Just like public minutes. So I took.
So it's broadcasted on YouTube or Facebook or something.
It's on a different site. It's actually, I think it's an IBM site. Actually, it's streamed through IBM. It's really,
but it's public. It's public.
Yeah, it's public. Yeah, it's public.
So I could go to it if I wanted to.
You can go watch it right now.
Okay.
So I took the clip out of the parent statement and posted it on my Facebook page, and people went nuts. Just crazy stuff, because I also shared it out to the groups. Now, no one's has had the courage to comment on my page yet, but on all the group pages, they are going nuts. And then I don't mean this in a good way, everybody. Okay, don't if you're all smiling like, yeah, they are going to get that. That's not what I mean. I mean the opposite. I mean, I was attacked for posting this video of the parents' statement.
Why?
Because I don't know. I couldn't explain it to you if I tried. I could have a master's degree in psychology and not be able to explain it to you, Andrew. I don't get where the hostility for me exposing this problem was. It was like what they did was they tried to paint it like I'm anti-teacher or something like that, which is of course ridiculous. But that's how it was. Why are you the very first comment, Kimberly Beers Group shouting you out on popcorn and whiskey. Oh, you're going to be famous, Kimberly Beers Group. Sorry, I don't mean to use your show like that. But yeah, she was the first to comment, and she's like, "Why are you posting this?" this doesn't help anybody. I'm like, I responded with, well, I'm helping the student because he was assaulted.
Yeah.
But that was the very first comment was, why are you posting this? This isn't helping anybody.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
see, these folks who are commenting, and I'm sure you've probably done this. If not, I'll give you an idea. Ask them to be on your show with you. Okay, let's talk about this.
Oh yeah, I have. No one has ever taken me up on it.
Yeah.
But I've always offered these people who disagree, come on a show. You're not going to get on. But see, that's the problem. It's where I explain to them, Andrew, that you're not going to get to come on. You don't get a free mic. You're not going to come on and just say whatever you want and not get responded to.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get, you just can't come on my show and say whatever you please because you think it's true. So that's where most people don't want to come on because they know that I'm going to refute them. They know that they're coming on to have a disagreement conversation.
You take a different approach than I do. I don't say you'll have a free mic. I say I will be asking you questions. We will have a discussion about it.
Yeah, that's what I tell them. I said, when I told people, hey, if people that disagree with me, I'm like, hey, would you like to come on and talk about it?
Yeah.
I was like, you're not just going to get to say whatever you want. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to talk about
conversation, right?
And et cetera. But no one has ever bothered to take me up on
it. They will one day. They will one day.
That'll be a great day for me.
So before you started all this, and I don't know if, on your screen if you can see the comments, but somebody from Twitch,
I cannot.
His name is Brutal Honestly for You. This is before you started your stuff about the school board.
Okay.
He wrote in there, boring. So okay, but you're watching. And
thank you for your comment.
You commented. Andrew, you can call in right there, 765-505-7348. Call in there, Brutal Honesty. Hey, you got two of us here. Tell us why we're so boring. What makes you so special that you can uplift the program? Let's hear it. Just go for it. We're both here. We want the feedback. Me and JD both. We'd be more than happy to find out why we're so boring. What can you do to make it more interesting for us?
I need to figure out why I'm so boring immediately, Andrew. My episodes are they're so in the toilet right now because I'm boring. So, but that's what's been blowing up. That's what's been blowing up on the Boiling Point podcast. Is I shared some clips out of that. We did an episode. The clips I shared are over 25K views now. The episode we did is over 1,000 views now. We're up over 150 followers in the last week.
Good for you. Keep it up, my friend. Now on your show, I'm going to ask you about your show. The Boiling Point podcast. Do you cover national politics as well, or just keep it local?
We have, and I'd very much want to get back to doing that, but it's a matter of time and resources, and keeping up with everything I'm keeping up with. That's proven difficult to stay with the national stuff and to talk about it, especially with some of the series and stuff that we have coming out too. Since I returned in March, I haven't just because our content's not been, kind of been trickling out, just only a little bit at a time or whatever, but that's because we've been filming series and stuff. So that's why I haven't done a national story, not since the halftime show, when I posted about the halftime show and what was going on about that. That's the last time I really talked about something national, because I just haven't had the time to sit. I don't like to, and I'm not a commentator. I'm not going to sit and tell you, oh, well, this is how I feel about what's going on. If I'm going to go on, it's going to be about facts, and I'm going to sit and need to research what I'm talking about before I go on and talk about it. And that takes hours. People don't realize that takes hours. And I don't have a team. Some of the podcasters that you see that get hundreds of thousands or millions of views, they even have one or two guys that help them look up facts, verify sources, find information.
Right.
But, while I have a team, they're not so much that part of the team.
Right. That's what one of the main reasons that separates me from you. You are fact-based. You want to find all the facts. I'm strictly opinion-based. I'm like, if the facts come up, they come up. But my thing is strictly opinion, my opinion, which is usually right.
I will give my opinion, but it's going to be with the facts. I'm going to give you the facts. And then I might even, there's been times where I've disagreed where I'm like, well, I understand the facts say this, but this is what I think. Like I've
Of
thought
course.
differently than the
Yeah.
facts too, occasionally. But yeah, I always keep it. It's about facts. If you want to know what's going on, you want to know the truth, then come to the Boiling Point podcast. Cause I treat it very seriously in terms of what we post,
Mm-hmm.
the information we give out, the stories we post. Now that doesn't mean I'm perfect. Of course, a few things have slipped by, but
Of
for the
course.
most part, I stay on top of it.
Good. Good for you. Good for you. All right. Let me switch gears a little bit here. I want to know, and I've talked about this last night on my show. I did a podcast a couple of days. I did a video a couple of days ago. What's your feelings about Kyle Busch passing away?
Yeah, that's terrible. That's just terrible.
Have they? Do you know if they've come out with the reason of death or the cause of death? I haven't heard it yet. I also haven't researched it either, so I don't know.
I am not a doctor, though I like to play one in real life from time to time. So, and I've seen a lot of medical shows, and I pay attention to stuff like that. And believe it or not, you actually get a lot of information in medical shows if you actually know what you're talking about. So, from what I understand, in terms of has anybody released anything? I have not seen anything, and I did a search. I was checking to see what was going on regarding that, but I did not see anything official or anything like that. Based on the information that's available, including the 911 call, it sounds to me like it might have been a pulmonary embolism.
What is that? What is a pulmonary embolism?
Through your lungs, like a heart attack, but in your lungs.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's what it sounds. That's what it sounds like. Now, I'm not a doctor. I have not seen any medical charts or any medical information. So, but that's what it sounded like. Like it sounded like a pulmonary embolism. So we'll see what they say in the next couple of days. I would imagine something might come out.
Yeah. And if it does, I mean, regardless of what happened, it's just sad. It's a sad day in NASCAR. It's a sad day in, of course, the Busch family. But if you were a NASCAR fan, you completely understand the impact Kyle Busch had on the sport. He was, in my opinion, a once in a generational driver, a once in a generation driver. Dale Earnhardt, for instance.
Yeah.
But Dale Earnhardt was bigger than life.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not comparing Kyle Busch to Daryl Earnhardt, even though there could be similar comparisons. A lot of people have said that. The difference between Dale Earnhardt and Kyle Busch, and I'm not saying one is better than the other or one's above the other. Dale Earnhardt was popular, hugely popular. I mean, immensely popular in a time when there wasn't the internet. Kyle Busch is popular in a time when there was the internet, so more people had access to him and can see things.
That's so true.
So there's a whole different of. I don't want to say this and putting either one of them down because that's not what I'm saying. The love and respect for Dale Earnhardt was so much different than the love and respect for the Kyle Busch.
It's all they were also. I mean, you got to, and you're right, and it's because they are different people.
Of course,
Dale Earnhardt. Yes. I mean, yes, there's a lot of similarities, but
yes,
if Dale Earnhardt had not died, we would not see NASCAR the way it's done today.
Oh, absolutely.
It would be a completely different sport than what we know it is today if Dale Earnhardt had not passed away.
Yes.
And Kyle Busch did not have that same kind of sport impact the way that Dale Earnhardt did. Also, Dale Earnhardt did it at a time when I think NASCAR was arguably at its most popular than it is.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I'll agree with that one.
And he came through a lot of changes and a lot of rule changes. And like I said, I think if Dale Earnhardt had not passed away, had not died, I don't think we'd have this NASCAR sport we'd have today. It would look a lot different. But yeah, Kyle Busch is him passing is just terrible.
Terrible
for the sport. Terrible for the sport too. A sport that's already hurting. To lose a star like Kyle Busch, that's even. I think that's where a big loss is. It's for the sport of NASCAR.
Now, I have been a Kyle Busch fan. I was a Mark Martin fan when he retired. I didn't have a favorite I was gravitating to, but over time, I fell in love with Kyle Busch's driving. I liked him. I did not like when he left his team, the Gibbs Racing, when he went to RCR. I did not like that at all.
Yeah.
I wanted him to stay with the 18 Toyota 18, but he didn't, unfortunately. And the last couple of years, he just wasn't the same driver. These last 3 races, though, he's coming back. So that's
Yeah.
what really, for me, it really hurt. And when I heard that the other night that he passed, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Um,
Was my words.
no, absolutely. I the same with Dale Earnhardt. I think he was going to win his 8th championship that year. I don't know what it was. Just the way he drove at Daytona through that whole race. He was looking like Dale Earnhardt on like right on point, knew exactly where he needed to be at every single moment. So
Yep.
I think the same thing. I think Dale Earnhardt was likely going to have a good run that year too. And I believe Kyle Busch was likely going to be having a great run this year, maybe even next year. I think he was turning back to what he was. Yeah.
Yeah, because they changed a couple of teammates and upper level on his particular team these last couple of weeks, and it really showed an improvement.
Yeah.
So it's just wow. And I was talking to somebody this morning about and I don't know if you saw this or not. RCR, Richard Childress Racing, for those who don't know. By the way, hi Mike. My buddy Mike says good evening, guys. Rest in peace, Kyle Busch. Absolutely. Richard Childress Racing put out a statement yesterday. I don't know if you read this or not, that the number 8, the Kyle Busch number 8, will not be running anymore. And I think they're number 33 or 32. I don't know what number
33.
33 is being replaced it. And they publicly said, and I don't agree with this, and I'll tell you why in a second. They publicly said they're going to reserve the number 8 for when Kyle's son is old enough to drive for the number 8.
Yeah.
I did not like that. Not
I
the
don't like
fact
it
that they're waiting for him to come up there, but all of a sudden, this 11, 12-year-old little boy has all this pressure on him that he doesn't know it's there. He's 12 years old. He doesn't know the pressure is there, that he has to be at a particular level to get to that so he can race the number 8. And if he races the number 8 in the top series of NASCAR, which they are holding in reserve for him, and he doesn't perform, he's a laughing stock of the world.
I'd also like to furthermore point out, and this would be something I mean, it's hard to put yourself into his position, but this is my problem. This is my problem with it. Listen, I understand that when he drove for Childress, Kyle Busch drove the number 8. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the first to have the number 8. Dale Jr. had the number 8. And why did Dale Jr. use number 8? Because that was his granddaddy's number. Ralph Earnhardt.
Oh yeah.
Who drove number 8. So I think to have that kind of honor, because look, Dale Earnhardt, his number was gone for many years until Austin Dillon came up. Because that was actually, and that turned out it was just like Richard Childress. Richard Childress likes to do this. He likes to plan generations ahead. Mm-hmm. So that was the plan. Austin Dillon, the guy who eventually drove the number 3, was going to take over for Dale Earnhardt. Mm-hmm. So that's why they gave Austin Dillon the number 3, because that was the original plan at all times. And Austin Dillon was Richard Childress's grandson. So right. It's all in the family and stuff, but you can't, it's like, I don't know about retiring numbers in NASCAR. I think maybe at this point, maybe you should let them, because there'll only be a few, and who cares? Let people pick other numbers, but it's not his number. How is it his number? How long has he been driving number 8?
I agree. And that's part of my point as well. You would think that somebody in their PR department at Richard Childress Racing would have raised their hand and say, dude, that's a great sentiment to say, but maybe this is the wrong time to say it. Let's back off and just say, as of right this second, we're going to put the number 8 on the back burner. We're not going to use it. And out of respect,
we're not going to run it the rest of the season, like they told when Kevin Harvick took over. He didn't, they didn't say
you're reserving it for his son.
No,
that's a big problem on so many levels, and I can't believe a PR guy didn't say that. Hey, Mr. Childress, no, because let me talk to you for a second about this.
No, they want the positivity they think that you're getting out of it, the sentiment from people. Oh, look, they're saving it for his son. How great is that? No one's doing what you're doing, Andrew. No one's thinking, wait, does this 11-year-old boy even want to race NASCAR in 9 years? How do you know he even wants to get in that car?
Well, how can you not think that was the first thing I thought of when I read that? I said, no, that's a great thing to say, but way too soon to say it.
Yeah. Even if he's a racer now, I mean, he probably is. His dad.
He does very well. He's a
But
good racer.
He just also lost his dad, who was a racer. You don't think that's going to mess? You don't think that's going to mess with him? And if you don't think that's going to mess with him, let me refer you to Exhibit A. His name's Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, which is what I was getting to. The point is, the conversation I had with somebody today. I said the pressure on this kid is immense, but he doesn't know it yet. Unlike the pressure that was on Dale Jr., and he knew it. He was an adult. He knew the pressure was on him. It was unbelievable, the pressure that was on Junior those next several weeks, at least, if not farther than that.
Have you ever seen any Dale Earnhardt documentaries or any of the Dale Earnhardt movies that were made?
Yes.
Like the movie 3 with Barry Pepper?
Yes.
Well, if you remember that movie, Dale Jr.'s had that kind of pressure his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
He was always expected to be the next Dale Sr. The problem was he didn't have the same Kelly, his sister. She was the one that had the intimidator mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Dale Jr. never had the intimidator mentality.
No,
he was never going to be as good as Dale Sr. He just didn't have that extra X factor.
And Kelly, for the people watching, let me put a disclaimer on this. We're not saying this in a negative way toward Dale Jr.
Oh, no, I love Dale Jr.
We're not saying this in a negative way at all.
I have so much Dale Jr. gear. It's disgusting. I have almost as much Dale Jr. gear as I do Dale Sr. gear. It's disgusting. I have my winter jackets. I have 2 winter jackets. They're not really winter jackets. They're like sports club jackets, maybe, or something.
Okay.
But I got one with Dale Earnhardt. It's got 3s all over, and I got one with Dale Jr. I got one of each. So yeah, I know I love Dale Jr., but he was never going to be a 7-time NASCAR champion.
No, he never was. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about, unfortunately, Adam Petty as well. Adam Petty, for those who don't know, his death, albeit tragic, was kind of overshadowed because of the death of Earnhardt earlier in that year. So it was like it was swept under the rug, so to speak. And I'm not saying that negatively. I'm saying that because people don't remember that as much. And Adam Petty, according to his father, and his father said this before because somebody asked him, says, well, how good was Petty? Was he going to be as good as you, Adam? And his dad was Kyle Petty. Kyle says, he was light years ahead of me. He was going to rival his grandfather, which was the King, Richard Petty. He was going to rival Richard in the whole thing, but he got killed tragically as well.
Yeah. Yes, and Adam Petty actually died. Was it before or was it that year? Later that year?
Later that year. Later that
year. Oh, Dale Sr. died first.
Yeah.
I think.
So that's why I'm saying it was. Yeah, I don't want to overshadow. Is not the right word. But people were saying, he wasn't a big name, big deal type thing.
It's not like it's not a big deal, but
we got a
you're a caller?
Yeah, let me see if I can answer this or not.
Okay. I'm so glad I'm here for this.
Hello, who's this?
Matt.
Hello.
Matt.
Hello, Matt.
Hey.
Matt, are you want to first of all, JD, can you hear Matt?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Matt, hey, thanks for calling in, my friend. So you're calling in from, looks like a local number around where I live. Is that correct?
Yeah, Clinton.
Okay, Clinton. So what's on your mind, Matt? What's going on, buddy?
I mean, nothing much. I mean, I've heard about the whole Kyle Busch dying. That's pretty sad.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's what we're talking about right now. And so, are you a NASCAR fan? First of all, let me ask that.
Yes.
Okay. And who's your favorite driver, or do you have a favorite driver?
No, I really can't say I do. I don't watch it frequently anymore like I used to.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I followed up. Honestly, have you guys ever seen the Dale Jr. download?
The
Dale Jr. on our podcast?
The Dale Jr. podcast? I've watched. I mean, I'm not a frequent flyer of it, but I watch it occasionally here and there, and I catch clips of it here and there. Why? What's up?
Oh yeah. Well, no, I followed that because they started. Dell Jr. started doing all this stuff a few years ago, going to old racetracks like 70s, 80s, like and recreating them.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I started watching that, and there was one podcast, and this is what's crazy. It wasn't very long ago at all that he actually had Kyle Busch on there, and they were talking about the whole virtual racing and all that stuff going on. I mean, I knew Kyle Busch before that, obviously, but when I started watching that and paying attention to it because it's cool to see just those old racetracks being redone. Like this is history. He redone a track from the 80s, like that. His dad raced, like I want to say it was like 93, something like that. And they completely like redone the entire thing. It looks like a brand new redone racetrack now, but I mean, yeah, it's been redone, but the whole thing was it hadn't been raced on since then, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I started watching him and his podcast, and he had Kyle Busch on there not very long ago when they were talking about that new virtual racing and all that and how it's going to affect fans. And I remember I watched that, and then I've been following podcasts for a while now.
Well, cool.
And I watched earlier this year with I think it was either this year or last year. I can't remember. My time kind of escapes me now.
Right.
There was a race that Kyle won that his son was there, and that was like the first time his son saw him win and got all emotional.
Yeah, the first time, and I remember this, and I don't know, JD, if you remember this at all, but the first time Junior won a race was in Texas. Yeah. And they were interviewing him. You see in the background, you see Dale Sr., he's literally throwing people out of the way to get to his son to give him a big hug.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, that was the one with Dale Jr. But no, I'm talking about Kyle Busch. Okay. Kyle Busch this year. It was either this year or why I can't remember.
He didn't
what
win a race
was.
this year. He didn't win a race this year. He didn't win a race last year either.
Kyle?
Yeah. He didn't win a race this year. He didn't win a race last year. He hasn't won for 2 years. Last year, I think, was the first year that he hasn't won a NASCAR race since he's been in the NASCAR Senior Series. Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Whatever race it was, the last one that he won, his son was there, and that's when he ran up and gave him a big hug. It was all emotional and everything. And
if I could
interject, I was at work last night and I saw that people were sharing the Facebook posts or tweets or whatever that he made.
Right.
And it was that picture.
Yeah. JD has something to say. JD, what are you going to jump in and say, buddy?
Yeah. It's actually the reason he thinks it was that he won a race last year is because he did win a Craftsman Truck Series race last year at Dover. It wasn't a Busch race.
No, he won it last week at Dover. He won it last week.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. It was last week. You're right. I apologize. I looked at the date wrong. It was last week. Yeah. So
last week.
Nothing else. There was nothing else, I don't think, last year.
And one of the things he said at the press conference, he said this at the end when I think Jamie Little was interviewing him, who's Jamie Little, by the way, is hot. And also at the press conference, is they said, well, why are you so excited or what makes you so excited about this? He says, you got to be excited because you never know when it's going to be your last one.
Yep.
Said something to that effect. So I was like, holy moly. You talk about what's it called? A premonition? Is that what the word is I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Interesting. Wow.
Did you ever hear
Didn't even know what that was.
Did you ever hear the little
That's
thing about?
heartbreaking.
Did you ever hear
JD, go ahead.
about Kevin Harvick's number? He chose 29 after Dale Sr. died, right?
Yeah, but why? I don't know why.
It was just I believe the reason he gave was because it was the next one available in order.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but this is where it gets interesting. Dale Earnhardt's birthday is 4/29/51, and on his fourth race, the number 29 car started the race fifth and finished first.
I thought he won his third race, not his fourth race.
It was the fifth race of the season. It was his fourth.
Was it the fifth race of the season?
Yes. It was his fourth race, which would have been the fifth race of the season because he didn't race Daytona.
Right. And I say I thought it was his third race, and I'm just doing this by memory. I mean, I'm sure you probably have more facts than me, but I remember them asking him at the end, "Do you know which race this is? And which race of yours is? It's my third race, and to celebrate the number 3." That's what I thought he said, and I could be totally wrong because it's 25 years ago, so I could be totally wrong with that. So something.
I'm almost certain, but I will look it up just in case.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Well, Matt, buddy, hey, thanks for calling in, my friend. Feel free to call in another time. Okay. All right, Matt. We'll see you, buddy. Thanks.
Hey, thanks for calling in.
Okay. All right. Hey, very first caller, my buddy Matt. I think I know who that is. He's a friend of mine, so I don't know exactly if that was him or not, but he was from my area code, so we'll say it's him. All right. Thanks,
that's
buddy.
Pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
Even if he's not your friend, that's even cooler. Someone who was into your show who lives nearby. That's pretty cool too.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah. Look that up. And as you're looking that up, I mean, I don't want to devote this whole thing to NASCAR because we were going with Kyle Busch, but I mean, this is an important weekend. I don't know if you saw any of the pre-race stuff going on today for Charlotte because they're doing this is Charlotte weekend. The Coca-Cola 600 is tomorrow night, and tonight I think it's called the O'Reilly Series this year. The O'Reilly Series, which us older folks know as the Busch Series, and we'll always know it as the Busch Series. Us older folks.
Yeah, that's what I still call it, the Busch Series, the Cup Series.
They had a long rain delay, and I tuned in right before my show started, and they were like on lap 3 of the race, so they had a long rain delay. So they said this and about Kyle Busch, and I did not know this. Kyle Busch is the only person in NASCAR history to win a Cup race and a Busch Series race, whatever it was called at the time, on the same day. Because the Truck Series was rained out, so I had to run it the next day, and it was at Charlotte Motor Speedway. To me, that's an impressive stat right there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's one of those cool ones.
Yeah. The only person in NASCAR history to win a truck race and a Busch race on the same day at the same track. Well, of course, going to be the same track.
Yeah. So. Tony Stewart won the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600 in the same day.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't win them both in the same day.
Wasn't it on the same day?
No.
All right, hold on. Let's do one thing at a time.
No, he didn't.
I thought I could have sworn he won an Indy race and then a Cup race on the same day. Maybe I had the races mixed up.
He finished both on the same lap and the lead lap on the same day. And I remember him saying on the Coca-Cola 600.
He just raced. Maybe that's what I was supposed to remember is that he raced both races on the same day, not that he won both on the same day.
Okay, wait a second. Matt says, I couldn't hear the other one, only you. Oh, okay, Matt.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
That's good to know. I have to figure that one out. Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely good to know.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. I did not know that. I didn't know you couldn't hear him. Okay.
Yeah, me neither.
Huh.
And you're right. It was okay. So you're right. It was his third race. I looked up the thing. It was Kevin Harvick's third race. It was the fourth race of the season.
There you go. Yeah, the fourth race of the season.
So I just had the number a little backwards there, but yeah.
Okay. Fourth race of the season. It was his third race. Yeah. Okay.
But still, the numbers still match up. In the fourth race of the season, the number 29 car started 5th and finished 1st.
Wow. Did you know that Dale Earnhardt was also in a music video?
Yeah, with Brooks and Dunn.
Brooks and Dunn.
Yep. Yeah, I saw an interview about that. He said he didn't know what he was doing. He said he was just trying his best. He said, I don't know what I'm doing. I was just trying to smile and look like I was having fun. That's it.
Yep. And here's something about Kyle Busch that I listened to Kenny Wallace, Coffee with Kenny. He does a YouTube show every morning, every other morning, something like that. And he did something on Friday morning, and he was saying that, as of right now, at the time of that recording, at the time of that live thing that he was doing, he did not know what the cause of death was. And he was getting phone calls left and right from people all over the place asking him if he knew, because obviously he's in the business, so he knows a lot of stuff, and he did not know at that time. But he did say, and I didn't know this, he said Mario Andretti on Tuesday of this week. Now, Kyle Busch died on Thursday. Okay, keep that in mind. On Tuesday, posted a picture of himself, Kyle Busch, and a few other folks who opened up a new go-kart track somewhere. I think it was in Indianapolis. I don't know for certain where. Maybe it's in Pennsylvania. I don't know. But Kyle Busch is like an owner or a sponsor or a donator or something. So he was in a picture with Mario and several other bigwig folks at the time, posted it on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, Kyle was in a simulator doing stuff for RCR in the race simulator.
Yeah.
And on Thursday, they said Thursday morning they reported that he was a severe illness and he would not be racing this week in Charlotte. And then Thursday night they announced that he passed away.
Yeah.
Holy moly! I mean, life is just like
I could go. Yeah, that's how fast it was. Crazy. Yeah.
Wow, unbelievable. So
anyway,
so Saturday night, you and I, well, we have such social lives, don't we?
I don't have time for a social life, man. I got too much work to do. I'm trying to make money, and I want to be secure in my future. And in 15 years, I want to be able to not have to worry about money.
There you go.
So.
And you're on your way, my friend. You're doing a lot of things. I got to talk you into help me out with an opening, or we work together doing an opening.
Oh no, I'm working. I have something for you. I just need to get through a couple things, and then you're on my list, man. You're on my list. It's just I got a couple other things I got to take care of before I can get to that. Unless, listen, man, when commission jobs are in the pipeline,
those are priority.
Yeah, when people are paying, the pay jobs, they gotta go first.
I'm not paying.
That's why you're on the list, but you're not at the top of it.
All right, my friend. I know you said you had you got a gazillion things going on, so get out of here. Go do your stuff. I'm gonna end my show here a little bit. I'll get out of here
and give you your show back. Popcorn, whiskey, and weeds over. Back to just popcorn and whiskey.
All right, my friend. You take care. Love you, brother. All right, my buddy JD. He's a good guy. We have a good time together, and he always invites me on his show as well. We have a good time doing stuff. Not the Boiling Point podcast. I don't know anything about his local politics, but there's Mayhem Media show that he does. We talk about wrestling. We talk about movies. We talk about television shows, anything entertainment we talk about, and we have a good time with that. And he has a team of folks from all over the country, U.S., and also over in England. So he has a team of folks. I would highly recommend you give it a listen to Mayhem Media. Yeah, go over there. Okay. Let's see here, Matt. I love that we had a chance to talk together. Yeah, absolutely, Matt. Matt, yeah, you like whiskey. Cheers, my friend. All right. So tonight has been interesting. That's for certain. We had our very first phone call. That was good. Thank you, Matt. And help us work out some bugs. I did not know that you could not hear JD. That's interesting. I got to figure out why that was. I don't know. I have to do some research on that. But obviously you can hear me. I'm going to assume it's because, well, I'm not going to get all technical on you guys, anything like that. If you guys are watching for the first time, you probably noticed that, and I don't know why I just thought of this, because it's bugging me. I have the black and the yellow on the what's called a windscreen on my microphone. The windscreen is so when you talk into the microphone and you have like a hard letter like a P, a P, that's called a plosive. And the more air or area that you have between your mouth and the microphone, the less pounding sound you get. Puh. You hear that? So with this microphone, which is the Behringer XM 8500, now I'll nerd out on you guys there. They're a great microphone. Don't get me wrong, absolutely fantastic microphone for the price, probably the equivalent of anything out there for the price comparison. It is notorious for being hell with plosives, so you have to do something to soften that, if you will. I noticed when I listened to a couple things back that the plosives were getting way out of hand, so I wanted to put a second windscreen on here. So I did. That's why the color. I didn't have a second black one. I have a pink one, which I didn't want to put on here, which I might for Bret Hart, the professional wrestler, the pink and black attack, Bret Hart, the Hart Foundation. I might put that on there. And I think I had another off-colored one to put on here, but that's why I put the second one on here. This bright yellow is bugging me, so I'll probably change that, just let you know. And I forgot where I was going with that. Again, I can nerd out on you guys all night long and talk about equipment, podcast stuff, things like that. I'm very passionate about that in a way that I know what I know. That speaking of that, okay, I know what I know about this. There's something called a Johari window. Now I'm going to get all psychological on you guys. So this is beyond Psych 101, Psychology 101. This is a way ahead of that. There's something called a Johari window. Don't ask me how to spell it. I have no idea. That if you take, like, for instance, the screen, cut it in fourths going across on one window pane. It looks like a window pane. On one window, you put in there, you know what you know. In a second pane, you know what you don't know. The third pane, you don't know what you know. In the fourth pane, you don't know what you don't know. Okay? And I'm doing this in a very, very, very condensed explanation, and this will take several hours to actually explain. Well, once you get it, you get it. When it comes to this kind of stuff, the stuff that I know what I know and I know what I don't know. I fall in those two categories. Okay, I'm not, you know what? I'm not going to bother. Now I'm getting way too technical on everybody right now. Way too technical, way too psychologist stuff. Way too much. And I've been drinking, so it doesn't really help either. We can, we'll get away from that right now. I'm going to just go off the wall here. Has anybody watching right now or listening right now? It looks like I have several up there. Excuse me. Has anybody watched the show, the Netflix show, Age of Attraction? I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I did a review on this whole show. Man, oh man, oh man. Was that a fun show to watch for me personally? I can relate to a lot of stuff that was going on because of the age I'm in. And the age a lot of these folks were going through. It was a show about trying to find love between heterosexual love, if you will, between two people, regardless of their age. Okay. Jonathan, I'm not a doctor, but I play one sometimes in real life. Ha 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 ha. All right. All right. And Matt says, did you know Days of Thunder was based from Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Jeff Bodine's rivalry? No, I did not know that. I did not know that. I also think that I'm not a big Bodine fan for personal reasons, and I'm not going to get into it. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, basically. And the person I know I really respect was not a fan of the Bodines whatsoever. So it's a whole different ballgame there. So sorry. And then, again, I'm getting it for third and fourth generation knowledge, so it could be totally wrong. But because of that, I have a real sour taste in my mouth about the Bodines. All right, we'll just leave it at that. Okay. I forgot what I was talking about. The age of attraction. I was getting into something else. And yeah. Okay. But anyway, age of attraction. I reached out to a couple of the participants in the show. One of them responded back to me. And she basically said she'd come on the show, but she needs to get paid to do so. I don't think so. It ain't going to work that way. I am not a big show at this point. I am not in a position where I'm going to pay anybody to be on here. I've also had some people who I need to reach back out to once I'm more consistent with my time. That I'll schedule them to be on, and we'll go from there, and it'll be fun. But apparently, I realized, thanks to JD and thanks to Matt, that if there's two people on the screen, the person on the phone cannot hear the second person. Don't know why that is, but we will figure that out. Okay. All right. You know what I'm going to do at this point? Boy, it's 11:20 my time, 11:20 p.m. my time. It's late. I had a late night last night. I'm going to go to sleep. So, hey, for all those being here right now, appreciate it. Thank you. Come back. We're going to be doing this again. And little by little, we're getting more and more involved, more and more interactions going on. Tell your friends, tell your loved ones, tell everybody about the show. Come on when you can. Matt, thank you for being here. JD, as always, you're my buddy. Appreciate it. You're always welcome on my show. You know that. You're carte blanche to come on the show. And okay, we'll leave it there. My name is Andrew, Popcorn and Whiskey. I am the face who runs the place. Until next time, salute. Ciao.